What's going on, guys? Stefan here with you, SD's Garage. Today we are in the shop with the GSF, and we're about to spend $700 on tires because of a 10-cent nail. So I know it's been a little while since we've featured this car in a full-length video. Honestly, we've been enjoying it and driving it the way it sits, and it's been absolutely great to us. It's been flawless, no problems. Our front brakes are still nice and thick from when we did them when we first got the car, right, Maverick? And the rear brakes are still doing just fine. These are still the original F brakes, and they still have, I want to call that like 75–80% life at 42,000 miles, which says a lot. Usually these high performance brakes wear fast, but I guess just because of the way this car is set up, I'm almost guaranteeing you 70–80% of the stopping force is done at the front. But everything here is great. The car looks great. The car runs great. The car sounds great. It's after all, a JDM V8, and we have no complaints up until we picked up a straggler. So let's just take a walk under here and look at the front tires. You'll see they are still nice and thick. They have plenty of tread life. The FIGS lower control arm bushings that we put under here has prevented the shoulder wear issue that these have. So if we were to check these tires with a tread depth gauge, we still have like 8/32 here, which is awesome. So these front tires are great. We have no leaks under here. Here's the oil pan, bone dry transmission pan. We had this down when we serviced our transmission. Bone dry. Exhaust is still in beautiful shape. This car is not driven whatsoever in the winter, so everything's good. Now we come back here, and I don't want you to look at the tread wear because we did a little bit of extracurricular activities with these tires after we picked up the nail. We did a couple of burnouts. I'll throw a video in right here. I did one in the middle of the night. But anyhow, right there is the reason that we're spending $700 on tires for this car. And this guy right here is why we are spending $700 on tires. This is the torque vectoring rear differential setup that the GSF has and some RCFs have. Now the problem here is these tires were probably at about 5/32. Now they're obviously quite a bit less since I've done burnouts with it. But with that being said, I didn't want to put a brand new, 9–10–30 tire on that side and have one at half-life here and cause any problems with this differential. This is the kind of thing where if you can afford, a $60–70,000 car like this, you gotta pay to maintain it right and take care of it right. And it just doesn't make sense to me to put one new tire back here because of that nail and then leave the old one here and have that potentially cause problems. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna pull these tires off, pull the wheels off. I'm gonna throw them in a pickup truck. We're gonna bring them down to the guys over at John Miller Car Care. They are the only ones that I let touch my vehicles. And we're gonna go ahead and get some new Continentals put on. We are still going with the Extreme Contact DWS 06 Plus, and we are going with the same size that we have, which is, I believe, a 285/35/19. So we're gonna treat it great. We're gonna give it some new Continental rubbers, and we'll be back with you. All right, guys, and here she is in all of her glory. We got the new tires on the car. In fact, you'll see here, you can still see the paint marks here from the new tires. Now, I do have to thank the guys over at John Miller Car Care. He absolutely blew Tire Rack's price out of the water, mounted, balanced, and installed on the car, including disposing of the old tires. We paid $737 for these, and these tires alone, I think we're $325 or $350 on Tire Rack. So you consider you're gonna have to pay to get them shipped to your house, and then you're gonna have to pay taxes on that, and then you're gonna have to pay to have somebody mount them and balance them. They blew the price out of the water, and I'm super happy with it. And he has top-notch tire equipment, mounting and balancing, so there are no scratches and nothing on our rims. Everything here is good. Again, if you are in the central South Jersey area, definitely check them out. John Miller Car Care, johnmillercarcare.com. John is a meticulous man. I've known him for several years now. He drives me absolutely insane. He loves Pontiac Fieros. but he runs a tight shop, and again, they are one of the only people I will let touch my cars. They do all my wheel alignments, they do all my tires, so check them out. Let's go ahead, let's hop in the car, let's take it for a little lap. None of my GSF videos are complete without taking the car for a ride, so let's go ahead and get in. All right, so here we are in the F. Let's go ahead and throw her in drive. I always like to put it in sport mode. First thing I do is I turn the active sound control off. We made this car loud enough we don't need any fake noise pumped into the cabin. And then we're gonna go ahead and put our torque vectoring diff here in track mode. Now the whole theme of this video is the torque vectoring diff. Because of that differential setup, that differential setup is very sensitive to tire sizes and deviations in tire size. And it's very expensive. So I didn't want any reason for that torque vectoring diff to have any type of failures. So just keep in mind, if you're going to buy a GSF or an RCF with the torque vectoring differential, if something happens to one of your rear tires and they're kind of worn, just bank on having to replace them as a set, because it doesn't make sense to take that chance over, you know, the $300 tire. So keep that in the back of your mind. If you have one of these cars, they're expensive relatively for a reason. If you can afford, you know, the 50, 60, maybe even $70,000 for a 2020, if you can afford that on one of these cars, then you're gonna have to pay up a little bit when it comes time for maintenance and repairs. Repairs are far and few between on these. You know, maybe you'll have a valley plate or something like that. The tire was completely out of the car's control, but because of the differential setup that it has, it did end up costing us a couple of bucks because of that nail. It's crazy how a 5-cent nail can cost you over $700, but that's just the way it goes. So if you've been watching the tach, you'll see that the tach, you know, the rev limiter has slowly been creeping up as the engine warms up, and that is textbook for these cars. They will not let you rev the engine out until it's happy and it's warm. One of the spots that I did a burnout is actually coming up here, so you might see some fat skid marks in the road from these 285s. I'll take the blame for that. I just love when those secondary intakes open up at 3,500 RPM. That V8 induction noise really becomes amplified. It's one of my favorite things about this car. It almost, I don't want to say it's like VTEC, because it's not. It's completely different, but it has a VTEC-esque audible experience. You can hear the changeover, and that's when the engine really comes to life. This is a relatively small V8. It's a 5-liter. So it doesn't really make up a whole bunch of torque down low, but it makes up with that with the power that it makes up top, all the way up to, you know, 7,300 RPMs. So let's go ahead. We're doing about 50 now. Let's slow it down a little. Do a little second gear roller. We'll do it right at 3 grand so you can hear that crossover. Man, I love this car. Just being able to experience the soundtrack of this car makes my ownership experience unbelievable. Just the way this car sounds, it is so pleasing to just mash that pedal. It's so rewarding. You just hear that V8 up under the hood rumble. Now, driving this thing normally is just as fun as driving it at the limit. You'll see here, even if you just do some short shifts, I shifted about 4,000 or 5,000 RPM there. This thing fires off the shifts so crispy. I I love it. A lot of people complain about this transmission. You just have to know how to drive it. If you leave it in automatic mode, it's going to be sluggish. But use the paddles. Keep it in manual mode. You control the shifts. You flick that trigger, it instant. I can't complain about it. It's lazy when I want it to be, when I have it in drive, and it's sporty when I need it to be when I slap the paddles over. It rev matches dynamically. You see we're in 6th gear, 5th, 4th, 3rd, and you go. And it fires shifts off, and I can't complain about it. If this video interested you, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. We absolutely love this car. We've had it on the channel now for going just a little over 2 years now. It was 2 years in July, and we're not done with it. We're almost at the point where it's paid off. We're hopefully going to pay it off this winter, and then hopefully this coming spring and this summer we have some exciting news to share with this car. We do have big plans for it, exciting plans, like 700 horsepower plans, so stay tuned. Hopefully these plans work. If not, you might have to postpone it a little bit, but we are nowhere near done with this car. It is not going anywhere. This is probably going to be one of my forever vehicles, and we'll see where it takes us. So again, like, share, subscribe, stay tuned. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you all next time.